Anne Jones.
Well, thank you, Presiding Officer. In bringing forward my proposals for the Legislative Competence Order that all new build homes should be fitted with sprinkler systems, I do so drawing on my experience as a fire control operator and officer for some 20 plus years, working both in the then Clwyd Fire Service and the Merseyside Fire Brigade. And I'm very grateful for the help and the assistance provided by the 3 Welsh fire authorities, led ably by North Wales Deputy Chief Fire Officer Chris Ennis, my former trade union colleagues from the Fire Brigade Union, whose campaign No to Fire Deaths is very close to my heart, and indeed to the National Sprinkler Network Association for their technical help and assistance in getting this LCO this far. Across Wales, on average, 20 people lose their lives through fire every year. And unfortunately, as fires rarely cause collective deaths, these deaths are often treated as one-offs and that can't be avoided. And it's the sad truth that people move on without learning the lessons, leaving families and communities to suffer significant loss. It's not only fire deaths, of course, because many more people are left injured as a result of fire, and last year alone there were some 670 injuries recorded. And so it's against that background that I hope that my LCO will add another dimension to public safety across Wales, and for us here in Wales in this Assembly to lead the way. We've made good progress with smoke alarms, moving sensibly from the battery-operated system to hard-wired models. And however, smoke alarms only alert people to a fire, and that's the crucial point. They will not and cannot tackle a fire or halt its path to allow a safe evacuation. No one can be sure when or where a fire will start. This is a fact we all know, but one we usually fail to respect. And so, imagine a firefighter in every room in your home, 24 hours a day, 365 days in a year, because that's what sprinkler systems are. They're instant firefighters. Where a sprinkler system has been installed in the UK, in any UK property, not one life has been lost. And this encouraging record is strengthened by impressive statistics from Vancouver. Over a third of the city is now protected by sprinklers, including all their high-risk buildings. Vancouver, a city of 500,000 people, annual fire deaths have dropped from an average high of 40 deaths in the 70s to a present average of 1 or even no fire deaths in recent years. And the graph, I think, shows you there. And there have been no fire deaths in Vancouver in a sprinkler-fitted building at all. Critics have pointed to costs as being prohibitive. However, this potentially life-saving device, designed to last some 50 years, will cost less than a central heating system or a reasonable carpet. Sprinkler systems are likely to account for about 1% of a new build on a home, and that will drop below that figure of 1% in terms of the price of the new home build to the buyer. Further economies of scale have been demonstrated in the USA, and as a result of competition, costs have been reduced by about 50%. But while we're looking at costs, I think there's a few more costs that we should bear in mind here. Every house fire costs approximately £34,000, and the cost of fire in Wales is estimated at £408 million. Now I'm going to say that again, £408 million every year. Balance that against the cost of installing central heating at the build stage or carpet at the furnishing stage of a house, and I believe there is no comparison. Now then, there are a few myths that come to mind when you look at sprinkler systems, and we've all seen the dramatic effects in the movies of sprinklers that flood buildings as they accidentally go off and you see people's furniture trailing out through the front door. Well, that, I have to tell you today, is complete fantasy. You've got more chance of winning the lottery tonight than the sprinkler system activating accidentally. And the odds are 16 million to 1 on a sprinkler accidentally activating and 14 million to 1 on the lottery. Sprinklers only release water at a temperature of 68 degrees centigrade, so burning toast or an overdone pizza in the oven won't cause them to operate. And water damage. Water damage is caused by a sprinkler system is the least that can be done whilst that sprinkler system is controlling the fire. A sprinkler attacks the fire at its inception, and by the time the fire service attend a fire without a sprinkler system, they will use substantially more water as the fire has developed. Sprinklers, whilst protecting homeowners, allowing them a safe route to escape, also protect firefighters who will not have to enter into burning buildings quite as often. But don't take my word for it. Let's just watch this short video to see the benefits of having a sprinkler system installed. Here you can see a flat fire well on its way. It's probably a chip pan left unattended or a discarded cigarette. And you can see quickly the windows have gone in and you can see the damage. Now we can see the firefighters attempting to put the fire out, and we know that because they're fighting that fire from the outside, there's probably nobody in there. But fire deaths, people who die in fires, are often vulnerable people. They're children, they're the elderly, they're often people with a disability, and often those perhaps under the influence of drugs and alcohol. But I believe we have a duty to protect everybody in our society, and that's what I hope my LCO will do. So you can see that the firefighters now are extinguishing the fire from the outside, and they're now going to go in and look at the devastation. But looking at this video, you'll see that there's very little that can be salvaged from this person's home. And in fact, there is virtually nothing there that can be salvaged. Now let's look again at what happens when we've got a flat with a sprinkler system in. You have to imagine that that was a cigarette, and because for the use of the demonstration, we've accelerated the fire slightly quicker. But you can see that as it moves there, you can see clothes on an area of a potential hazard there, and you can see some soft toys on the radiator. And as you can see that the fire operates now, we have to imagine that that is now accelerated to a temperature of 68 degrees centigrade. And we're at that temperature and the sprinkler system comes in. What you get is a fine mist there, and you can just see there. And then what you'll see in there is actually the sprinkler system just containing the heat of the fire, and that's the sprinkler head. And you can see the damage on the settee there. The clothes are still on the area, toys are still on the radiator. The clothes might be wetter than they started before. But in comparison to next door that have lost everything, I believe that sprinkler systems are actually an advantage to everybody. And that is courtesy of ITV, so thank you very much to the Wales This Week team for that. From that short clip, I hope you can all agree that a sprinkler system can make that difference. It really is the instant firefighter. And now I realise there's going to be some genuine concerns around this ambitious proposal, but I believe that our pre-legislative scrutiny will give that opportunity to address any concerns. And I ask you all today to vote this proposal through. Make a real difference to the people of Wales by saving lives, by having safer homes, and by building a safer Wales. Thank you.